Hello and welcome to Scrapping on the Fly. My name is Kristen and I am here with Christy's Beautiful Life 30 Days of Sketches, Round 9 Layout Share. I have created every layout, all 30 of them, and there is a process video for every single one. So I'm going to go through them and let you know who created the sketch. And every day we also had a prompt from Dotty About Flair. And I had 3 things, well really 4 things that I wanted to accomplish. One, I wanted to use a new collection or a new paper or something along those lines on every layout. I wanted to use a flare on every layout. I wanted to follow the Dotty About Flair prompt, and I wanted to use a scrap, which is my 2022 goal, is to use a scrap on every layout. And I am happy to announce that I have completed all 30 days and I achieved those goals. So I did not double up on these. I did have a video that used this same collection this month, but not for the 30 days of sketches. So with no further ado, I will get started because I don't want you all stuck. Well, you're not stuck. Obviously, you're choosing to watch this, but I'm going to try not to give you like every single detail of every single layout, because if you want to see that, you can go watch the video for that specific layout. So, yep, see, I'm already off to a crazy start. All right, day 1 is Lisa Sikorski. She created the sketch. The prompt from Dotty About Flair is florals, and I used this Vicki Boutin Art for Everyone, and my florals were created from that paper pad. I also used my watercolor pencils, and I love anything Vicki Boutin. Sketch number 2 is a Tracy Reed sketch. The prompt from Dotty About Flair is hearts. I used Reminisce the Graduate, and I actually created a second layout. So it was kind of like a stretch the sketch situation, but I turned it on its side and really just put it down here. So it's really not exactly like that, but that's the point of a sketch, is to take it how you want. But when I created these 6 pictures on Project Life, I put them in a 4x4, and when you do that, you get 2x2, 2x2s as well. So that's what I did. All right. Now, day 3, the sketch is by Laura Rumble. And let's see, it says at Scrap Sketches. The prompt is to use a stencil, and I used the Buenos Dias collection by Obed Marshall, who I absolutely adore, and documented these tattoos that me and my daughter got. And yeah, I love how this turned out, but I love his collection. It's just so fun. Lots of fun. And the stencil that I used is actually from the Buenos Dias collection as well. So this is day number 4. And day number 4 is created by Brenda Ragsdale. The prompt from Dotty About Flair is to use banners or flags. So here's my banner, and I got this little flag here. I did not use like a collection on this. This is a recollections paper, and I can't remember who created this, but I have a ton of them, or had a ton of them, and I was trying to get these used up, and I wanted to use it on a New Year's layout, so there it is. And I used some mixed media and lots of inking. That's the other thing. There is mixed media on almost every single layout in some form or fashion. Some layouts have like multitudes of it, like lots. All right, day number 5 is this sketch, and this sketch was created by Amy Cattenbelt, and it was created specifically for Spoonful of Scraps. So she has this floral pattern that she trimmed out. I use this cherry art paper to document my son doing walking on the moon with his VR glasses. Oh, and the prompt for that was a white background, and I don't do a lot of white background. I need something there. I don't like a lot of empty space. So, as you'll probably notice by looking at my sketches. So, or on my layouts. So this double layout is created by Lottie Loves Paper. The Dotty About Flair prompt is to use 6 pictures. So I used 6 pictures. I've got 2 Flair on here and documented my daughter, and we went on a journey one day and took pictures of all the schools she had been at in her career, her educational career. And the paper I used is coordination paper, and then this background paper is, but the rest of this is Peaceful Heart by Jen Hadfield. I think in the video I kept calling it Beautiful Heart. Yeah, it's called Peaceful Heart. The next sketch is this one. It was created by Page Maps, and the prompt from Dotty About Flair is to use a themed paper or collection with a different themed pictures. So originally I had pictures from my grandmother's funeral, and obviously when the prompt from Dotty About Flair came out, I was like, I don't really know how to do that. So I changed my pictures and used these Christmas Eve pictures and used birthday paper. It is a collection by the paper studio called Birthday. It's just papers and some ephemera. I think, yeah, some of these ephemera came from that same collection as well. It was a like a paper kit collection that had ephemera and papers and stuff like that. So that is that. Look, I incorporated a llama into a Christmas layout, you guys. I mean, that's like super, super amazing. So the next sketch is this one. It's a little crazier than my normal sketch or my normal layout. It was created by Susanna Lee for the scrap room. I use Recollections Well-Traveled paper, and the prompt from Dotty About Flair is to use scraps. So all of my little geotags are cut out of scraps. This is a scrap, and this may be a full piece. I was thinking it was a scrap earlier when I did this, the first video I did, but anyway. So, but all of this is scraps, and all of these are scraps. And this background paper is a scrap. The mat that I matted the pictures on. So super, super busy. The next sketch is this gorgeous sketch. This is day 9, and this is for my grandmother's funeral. These are not the pictures I was going to use on the other layout, but I picked it on purpose because I was going to cut this wreath into the circle and change my mind because I didn't want to do that. So I cut this picture of my daughter holding some of the flowers that came off the wreath. Let my son pick the paper, and he said this is the prettiest paper I had, and it is Paige Evans' Bungalow Lane. And that is what this entire collection is, except for this little bit here. And the prompt was stitching, and there's a little white stitching here and here. I don't do a lot of stitching, but, you know, I'm going to follow the prompts, you all. It's good to get out of your comfort zone every once in a while. And speaking of out of my comfort zone, this sketch is by, pardon me if I butchered this name, Lizaveta, and it was for Keeping the Best blog, and the prompt for this is circles. So I've got lots of circles, mostly with like the ephemera and stuff, like the globe and the Dotty About Flair, the wheels and all that kind of stuff, and then of course my background paper. And this came from Jen Hadfield, Chasing Adventures. And I cut out these doily bits on my Cricut instead of using an actual doily. And I just love the way it turned out. But it was definitely different for me. Definitely different. This next sketch is one of my favorite layouts I created. It's by Allison Davis. And I really wanted to stick pretty close to this sketch because I just love like the movie like film reels and everything. I just thought it was really cool, and so I did cut them out on my Cricut after hours of like maneuvering and making them big enough for these little 2x2 pictures, which I printed through the Project Life app, and I just love the way it turned out. So it's almost all solid papers. This is an American Crafts paper. This is actually the invitation, the original invitation they sent out, the ephemera that I got to use. This is a mask from the wedding. This is, like I said, the original invitation they sent. And then this pink ribbon right here is from my daughter, one of the bridesmaids' bouquets. And I just love that I got to use all of that stuff on this layout. And I just love how it turned out. The prompt from Dotty About Flair was to use tabs and labels. And so I have tabs and labels and everything on here. I just adore that layout. And I don't know if I will do it again because it was a lot of work. Although I do have some more of the same colors because I have extras because I didn't know how many I'd need. The next one is a Laura Whitaker sketch, and I love Laura Whitaker. She makes some really great sketches. The prompt from Dotty About Flair is polka dots, so I have that covered, including with these Nouveau drops. And my Flair even has polka dots. And this is an American Crafts paper that I had just cut up. Day number 13. This is a Bella Boulevard Make Your Mark collection, which is pretty much everything I used on here except for like all the stars. And they have doilies and stuff, but I didn't want to cut anything else on my Cricut. So I used ink and inked a couple of circles of different shades, and like some of it's shiny, some of it's matte. And instead of using this title bit right here for journaling, I actually used another picture. That's the title of the layout. This was created, the sketch was created by, I think, Amaryllis Doria, and that is Creative Scrappers. And, and the prompt from Dotty About Flair was to use sequins. So I have sequins all over the place. All right. Now, day number 14 begins our sketches that were created by people that are linked below because they're part of our hop. And that is so exciting because a lot of them were actually created for this hop specifically. So day number 14 is Jessica Michaels. And like I said, you'll find her link below. You can definitely check out all of these amazing scrappers. The sketches are just so cool. And there are a lot that have like hexagons. I think there's like 5 sketches in this collection that have hexagons in them, but they're super different. Like every one of them is so different. So this collection that I used, these hexagon papers here, are from a Die Cuts with a View Playful Pets. And it was a 6x6 paper pad. And then the prompt from Dotty About Flair was to use mixed media. And I totally did. I used mica mist, I used distress oxides, I used ink, just a distress ink, and enamel dots. Yep. So there's multitudes of things on here. And it is shiny and wild and crazy and something I've never done before. So this sketch is created by the infamous Shannon Allure. And Shannon is known otherwise as She's Crafty. And it is very fitting because she is super crafty. She has this wood grain background, and I use this Vicky Bouton color study papers, which is one of my absolute favorites. I hoard them. I have a hard time using them. I love this. I love this. I love all of it. I've never found a page of hers in this collection that I don't just love. Scallops was the prompt, so I scalloped this paper here. Not a stitch of pink because my best friend hates it. Lots of teals and happy things, some inks and everything. And yeah, so there's that. Day number 16 is by Galaxy Girl Creations, which is Janet Fritz. And I switched it up a little bit. She used a heart. I used a pumpkin. I used the Echo Park Happy Fall. Happy Fall. That's what I used. Happy Fall. And cut the pumpkin out on my Cricut. The prompt is journaling, which I have down here. And I think at this point, if I haven't already done it, I have brought in this Simple Stories Quarantined. And I'm only using like little bits and pieces from the sticker sheet or cut aparts. I don't want it to be the main focus of my layouts, but I do want it to be part of the layout. I mean, in 50 years, if somebody's looking at this scrapbook, they're going to be like, what are they doing wearing masks? That is so weird. So this just kind of gives you a reference as it was in the middle of a pandemic. So, but this was Thanksgiving, and we were finding a way to be together on Thanksgiving in the middle of a pandemic, and safely at that, you all. This sketch was created by Sean Styles Layer, and it is a double sketch or a double layout. And this is the finishing pages for the wedding day. And I used some more ephemera from the wedding with this little goodie bag. The prompt for today is flair, so I have a flare on each of my layouts. I use my Cricut for all those goodies, and the only thing other than solids on here is this American Crafts paper, and then there's some vellum down there as well that is recollections. So I really love these layouts, and I brought in a bunch of scraps and stuff from the original day. I think it's day 11 that I did the first wedding set. Okay, day number 18. This is one half of the Scrappy Sisters. Katie Scott created this. See, more hexagons, but still totally different. The prompt for Dotty About Flair is chevrons and arrows. I do not have arrows, but I do have chevrons. And the paper is from a paper studio, North Pole Productions. And I really love the way it turned out, but it's super simple. There's not a stitch of ink on here, even an enamel dot. I just really was exhausted and did kind of a minimal kind of thing, and I'm okay with that. I love the way it looks. This background paper is super, super busy. It really didn't need anything else. So, and I love that about a sketch too, that you can make it like super over the top, like my travel one earlier, or super under. And other than this background paper that's super busy, you know, I just have my hexagons and a few of these little circly bits from Thicker and a couple title phrases, and that's really it. The next sketch is by Daisy Scraps, and the prompt for Dotty About Flair is doodling. Now, on the other side of going minimal is going cuckoo. So I hand inked all of these with my shimmer sprays or some distress oxides, and I love the way this turned out. I'd sprayed here and like paintbrushed here and splooched and splotched, and I just did all sorts of fun stuff on this layout. So I can't wait for well, this one has already gone live, so I really enjoyed a lot of comments from people about how much they love this layout, because I really do love this layout too. Yeah, lots of fun. Okay, well, that didn't work. All right, now, this is officially what day that we are on right now. I am recording this on March the 20th because I'm leaving for the beach on Friday, and I needed to get everything done in time to start packing and prepping for my week-long vacation. So this sketch is created by Isabel Alvarado, and her YouTube is Isabel Scraps, and it's linked below because it's spelled differently than her name, which threw me off a little bit, but I got it figured out. So definitely go check her out. I love the sketch. It was so fun. I had these pictures printed on purpose in a smaller size so that I could add them. This is on the way to this, so I wanted to do that. And she has these really cool florals, and I used the school supplies instead, and I just love that. And the prompt for Dotty About Flair is a pattern background. This is about as unpatterned as it's going to get, but it's still officially a patterned background. And it was perfectly fitting for this school collection. The Dotty About Flair's got her school colors. So I am going to take that and go. And I love the clusters. Like, I don't normally cluster like this. I'm a little gun shy about that kind of stuff. I don't like to cover all my stuff up. I mean, there's like a ruler down there. You could barely see it. And like a lunchbox and stuff. But it just adds so much, and it gives you a lot to look at. And, you know, if you just want to look at the pictures and move on, that's fine. But if you want to like inspect and look through things, I mean, there's a little box of tissues right here because I needed it. Watching her get her certificate. Yep, needed that. So that was a pattern paper, and I'm taking it, guys. I'm taking it. So this is day 21. Officially, this will go live tomorrow for me while I'm recording this. And this was designed and created by Rebecca Lockhart Scraps. And Rebecca has amazing sketches and layouts, and she does lots and lots of mixed media. So I wanted to bring some mixed media in. The prompt from Dotty About Flair is rainbows. So I rainbowed it up all over the place. I used lots and lots of inks, shimmer sprays, and distress inks, and all that fabulousness. And I absolutely love the way this turned out. There is no pattern paper. There is no collection. It is just a bunch of scraps that I literally just put in my Cricut and cut into hexagons. Day 22 is this sketch right here, and this is by Ronnie Sue Scrapper, who, if you enjoy or are interested in learning about paper piecing, you need to check her out because she has mad skills and can take something that is meant to be used one way and will transform it into something totally different, and it is just mind-blowing. So you need to check out her YouTube channel for sure. The background paper is Recollections wood grain, like metallic, and wood grain was the prompt from Dotty About Flair, so yay, go me. The next sketch is by JQ Crafty, and Jackie is also down below. And I used Park Lane black and white paper pad for these two, and this. And then my cute little penguins, I love them. And long title was the prompt from Dotty About Flair, so Dropping Off Our Girl is a pretty long title. It could have been New Kid on the Block, which I thought was funny because this is her first year at school. She's no longer here, which is why I'm perfectly fine with posting that and not covering it up like I've covered up some other things. But she's no longer at the school, so I'm not worried about that. Okay, the next sketch is by Dolly Boyd, and the prompt was Distress Edges. This collection is, all the paper is from a Paper Studios Vintage Varsity paper collection. But almost all of this cluster, if not all of this cluster, is from the Simple Stories Quarantined, including this cut apart and all these little bits here, except maybe the thumbtack. I think the thumbtack and the pencil, and then of course this goatee came from the paper collection. And I distressed my sides, and then I used a distress ink to ink the sides as well. And I love the way that it turned out. Day 25's prompt is Christmas, and the sketch is by Jessie B. Scrapbooking. And if you need somebody to cheer you up, she has the most cheerful voice. And of course does fabulous layouts on top of that, but she could just bring you a little smile. I did not use any specific product. It's all scraps. I pulled it all out of my scrap bin. This was actually a full piece of paper, but it was all wrinkled and crumpled. So when I trimmed it down and matted it down on this solid white cardstock, it flattened out, and that made me happy. I've just got some Christmas decorations and this little elfie girl who I created from my Cricut as well. See, more hexagons, totally different. All right, day number 26 is a sketch by Sarah Scraps. The prompt from Dotty About Flair is Punches and Dies. This all came out of my Cricut. The frames came from my Cricut, so that is to me a die cut. And this is the Memory Explosion Box collection, like paper pad from Recollections. I guess you're supposed to build those exploding boxes with it, but I didn't. I used it in my layout. This is a sketch by the other half of the Scrappy Sisters, and you definitely need to check out their YouTube. They have fantastic layouts, and if for no other reason, they're from Australia and have fantastic accents I just love, but they are amazing. The prompt for this one is paper tearing. I have all these are scraps. Everything on here except the solid background here is from a scrap. I just did some tearing and inking. All of these are cut from scraps as well. And then I had like a little bit of a scrap left over and made another entire layout with my scraps. I was going to show it to you, but it's buried and I can't show you. I would take more time and a big kaboom probably behind me. So this is day number 27. Day number 28 is this one. The sketch was designed by me. I've never designed a sketch before, especially sharing it with anyone else. I sent it to Christy. She said she would use it. I was super excited. I built this on my Cricut and then screenshot it and sent it to her. So this bit right here, I've actually cut out and used the exact same thing. Adam made the prompt for this one to do a half and half page. So I use this Recollections ombre paper. I really love the way this turned out. I use these bright colors because my son's shirt is super bright. I don't normally design the page based on that. But I really just loved bringing all the bright colors in on this layout. And I just had fun making it. And I'm looking forward to, like I said, I pre-recorded this, so I'm looking forward to seeing what other people do. And that entire layout is scraps, I think, except for the ombre paper. I had to trim that out. But even the black background paper was a scrap. Okay, this is a sketch by Scrappy Adam. Like I said, the Dotty About Flair, he runs Dotty About Flair, and so he just recently got some new doggies, and so I decided to change what I originally had set up to do on day 29 and do my pictures of my doggies. So these are my doggies and my Neff pup, because I had these really cool puppy love epoxy flares from Dotty About Flair. And the prompt for this one was to do 3 or more shapes. So I have circles, I have snowflakes, and I have hearts. I also have squares and a rectangle, but you know, that's okay. But I definitely have 3 shapes. I cut all these out of my Big Shot with some dies I got from my friend Anne Marie. And I incorporated lots of little baby clusters where he had suggested. And I used I Love My Dog by Echo Park for my little bits of my stickers and ephemera, as well as this paper right here. And then, last but not least, is this sketch by our fearless leader, Christy, with Christy's Beautiful Life. The prompt from Dotty About Flair is to use cut-aparts, and so I did that, and I used this Jen Hadfield's Reaching Out. That didn't sound right, but that's it. That is right. So I thought it was the perfect collection for this, these 2 pictures. I had lots of great positive affirmation, happy, bright colored cut-aparts. So that is why I chose this. I just finished this layout, and I will say, if you watched yesterday's video for the 30th, when I created this was sideways. I noticed it when I was doing the voiceover. It made me laugh hysterically. I'm surprised I could finish the video. I did fix it. It is now upright and not a sideways heart. Bless my little heart. So this is day 30, and that's it. I'm so excited that I was a part of this. I did scrap 30 days of sketches in September. but I was not part of the hop. I just was doing them on my own and posting videos and stuff, but this time I was a part of the hop. I've been linked with people who were posting the links below in their YouTube videos, and it's just so exciting to be a part of such a great group of people, some just amazing scrapbookers, and every one of these sketches was just so unique and so different and just amazing. So I hope that you all will come back and join us again. We will do another 30 days of sketches in June, and it's going to be the best of the 9 rounds that have already been done. If you're interested in the sketches, you could definitely pull them off of people's YouTube channels, but you can join 30 Days of Sketches with Christy's Beautiful Life on Facebook, and she has an album for every round, and you can go there and get any of them. And then June the 1st, if not before, she will post the next round of 30 sketches. I am super excited. She's already posted them for us to start getting them started. But in April, I am doing Scrap of Sketches, doing Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. There's going to be a new sketch every day, and it's going to be the seasons through the month. And so starting tomorrow, April the 1st, I'll have a new video up for the first sketch, which I haven't done yet. So I guess I should get on that. I can't even remember what season it is, so I guess I should find some pictures for all the different seasons. Anyway, I hope that you all have an amazing day. I hope that you all will follow along, and I would love a comment, a like, and if you are interested in seeing more, I would love for you to subscribe. I am just really enjoying sharing my work of heart and all the things that I'm learning along the way with you all. So have a great day, and I hope you get a chance today to do something you love with someone you love. Happy scrapping!